Welcome back, guys. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Carly and I talk about a lot of different things, show a lot of different things, but today the thing that I want to talk about is running. So if you're not familiar, I have been running for about 10 years, never ran in high school or anything. I just turned 30, so I started running in college just on my own, started to like it, started doing half marathons, 5Ks, all of that fun stuff. And I also have worked with a coach here and there a little bit, just kind of virtually. She'll give me plans and send me feedback and kind of help me along my running journey. Just to give you a little intro, backstory, if you're not familiar with my vlogs, I have had a running coach here and there throughout my journey, but mostly it's just me, a normal person, running when I can here and there, ups and downs, injuries, all that stuff. So today I wanted to give you a little yearly recap of all the running things that I did this year and my goals for next year. So just to let you know, I have an Apple Watch. I don't have a Garmin or anything like that. And then on my phone, I have been using Map My Run, which is an Under Armour app. That's something that my coach recommended, but I think I'm going to start using Strava because when I was trying to get my stats today, I just felt like it wasn't very informative, and I feel like there's a lot more to offer on Strava. Plus, I like the social aspect of it. I probably won't add very many people, but I do have a couple people on there that I see what they're doing and stuff. So I do like that. Plus, you can see just a little bit more info, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think I am going to switch to Strava next year just because I want something like this at the end of the year that will tell me more stats and everything like that. So, sorry for all of that. Let's get started. So, just a little recap. According to my app, which again, let me just say, this app, I don't know how accurate it is. My Apple Watch is a little inaccurate sometimes too. So this isn't 100% accurate, but this is just what I'm gonna say based off the app. So bear with me. According to my app, this year I did 63 workouts, and I keep going back, but this is just running. So this isn't like strength training or group fitness, cycling, none of that. This is just running and walking workouts, okay? So according to my app, I did 63 workouts, and I'm gonna break down my mileage per month. In January, I ran 7.5 miles. February, I did 7.7. March, I did 7.1. April, I did 10.4. May, I did 19.2. June, I did 3.9. July, I did an even 6. August, I did an even 13. September, I jumped to 42.7. October, 34.2. November 29.2, and December so far as of today, which is the 17th, I have done 13.3. Okay, so obviously, as you can see, I made a big jump from July, which was only 6 miles, to September, which was 42.7, almost 43 miles. September is when I started working with my coach again. So 2 years ago, I hired a coach to train me for a half marathon that I was doing. I wasn't in as good a shape as I would have liked to have been, and I wanted her to kind of assist me with, my cats are hissing and growling at each other. I wanted her to kind of assist me with mileage, pace, and motivation, things like that. So I did reach out to her, and I feel like it did help me a lot. She gives way more detail into the workouts instead of just go run 6 miles, which is what I was kind of doing in my head. You know, I would just set a distance in my mind and just go try to run it. I wouldn't include walks. I wouldn't include breaks. I didn't include speed workouts. I wasn't doing any of that. and I didn't know how to. So with her help, that really got me on the right track. And then I still didn't finish the half marathon in the time that I would have liked, but I did well enough that I was happy with the results. So that, like I said, that was 2 years ago. I can't remember how much I ran last year, but it wasn't as much as that year, and it wasn't as much as this year, I believe. I only did the Disney Princess Half Marathon in 2023, and then I didn't do any other longer distance runs. So I don't think my mileage was very much in that year. But back to 2022 was when I was doing the half marathon at the end of the year, wanted her help, that kind of thing. So I do like her and have a good relationship with her. So in September, I decided to hire her because I was really wanting to get my 5K time down and get in the mindset of running regularly again, as I am going to train for the Disney Princess Half Marathon again this coming February. So I decided to treat myself for 2 months and hire her. She's not too expensive, honestly. It's really not that bad. And we do it virtually. Like I said, she'll just text me and email me. So it was really helpful, actually. Like I said, the jump from 13 miles in August to 42.7 in September was very large. And I did significantly bring my time down. I'm sure that is because I was not running as much. As you can see, like I said, the first 3 months of the year, I was only running an average of 7 miles. So that was not very much, especially with wanting to get my time down and wanting to be in the half marathon mindset. Anyway, all that to say, it did help me a lot. I got my time down, and her speed workouts and her hill workouts and things like that just really helped me stay motivated. They give me an extra workout that I wouldn't do on my own, and they really help with the 5K times and my distance as well. She would put longer distances in there. So, speaking of that, I'm going to go over some personal bests of the year. I ran a total of 194.3 miles. That is all those miles combined, the month by month. That's what it said. I didn't do the math, so don't go in and actually do the math because I could be wrong about that, but that's what the app said. And my longest distance that I did this year was only 6 miles. And I'm saying only just because I'm in the half marathon mindset, but 6 miles is amazing. And if you can run 6 miles, that's great. If you can run 1 mile, that's great. There's nothing that says you have to run this, you have to do it in this time, you have to do this many runs a year, you have to do this pace by such and such date. I'm just saying this all for personal reasons. This has nothing to do with your personal goals or anything. I just wanted to say that and put that out there. This is just for me. So I'm just sharing what my experience is. But anyway, my longest distance was 6 miles. And I believe that was in September or October when I was doing the training. And that was one of the runs she had in there. And I did average a 10-minute mile. So it was 10 minutes and 3 seconds was my average. And I was very happy with that because, again, that was the longest I'd gone all year. I wasn't used to going that far, but I had been doing her plan and was doing some longer workouts, some tougher workouts, and it really helped me to make that 6 mile run. And she was actually surprised with how quickly I was able to do that as well. So I was very happy with that time. So that, like I said, that was in September or October. Once I started getting my time down, I really wanted to focus on getting the time that I wanted, which was to do the turkey trot in 27 minutes or around 27 minutes, because I did that 2 years ago when I was training for the half marathon. That was about my average 5K time at the time. And so for the turkey trot this year, I did do it in around 27 minutes. I believe it was 27:10 or somewhere around there. I was extremely happy with that. I also hadn't been running as much the couple weeks before just because my shin was bothering me. And it was super cold outside and I was having to run on a treadmill, which I have grown to hate. there were just some other factors, but get my time down for the turkey trot in 27 minutes. So I was super happy about that because that was one of my goals and I had shared that with my coach as well. Now, that is not my personal best for the year though. I am happy to say that I did a 5K the first weekend in December, which was December 7th. It is the exact same route as the turkey trot. So I knew that I really liked that route. And I actually woke up sick that morning and I didn't feel good at all. My husband had been sick for about a week. And finally I woke up with drainage and a sore throat and raspy voice and really contemplated not doing this run. But I was bound and determined to do it because it was Christmas themed. It's the same route as the turkey trot, which I love. And I knew I could do it in a faster time in my head. I was like, I know I can do it. I know I can do it. I have a friend that runs and comes to my classes sometimes, and she's quicker than me, and I knew she was quicker than me, but not by so much that I couldn't keep her in my sight. So I thought, if I can just keep her in my line of sight through the whole race, I know I'll beat my time. So that was my goal. And I went, it was like 20 degrees. I didn't feel very good, but I went out there and I did the 5K with her in my sight the whole time. She was my pacer. And I did it in 26:10. I'm sorry, 26:09. Excuse me. That 1 second there is huge. I was so excited about this. That is the fastest 5K time that I've had in 10 years. Now, I actually don't know my fastest 5K time. The one I remember was about 10 years ago, and it was 25:25, about that. And I'm pretty sure that route was not the right distance because I've never ran a 5K that quickly before. Granted, I was in very good shape then. But I was also just convinced that it was not the right distance. I can't remember if I was using a watch at that time or not or what, but I just was certain that it wasn't the right distance. So I think it was a little short, but that is the best time that I can remember. And I think my other times around that same time frame were in the 27-minute range, which is great. And I'm super happy with that. But that 26:09 that I did last week was by far the fastest I've done in 10 years. So that's my time to beat for this following year. And I'm just really excited that I was able to do that. So some of the downsides of running this year, obviously these first 3-4 months of the year, I was not running consistently. 7 miles the first 3 months and then 10 in April. So that wasn't a good start for the year as far as me being consistent with running or me reaching goals better throughout the year. And then also once I started with my coach, I had gotten a new pair of shoes. They're New Balances. And I started to get some shin issues like I mentioned earlier. And I haven't had shin splints in a long time. And I typically, knock on wood, don't have problems with my legs when I run. The only problems I have are in my hip flexors usually if I have a problem, not my shins or ankles, that region. So that was kind of weird, and I think it has to do with the shoes. Now I have been using the shoes here and there, just not as much. So maybe if I just switch them out. I have been using for the last 2 years the Adidas Boost, and I really like those. They're just a little bit heavier than the New Balances that I bought. And I was really liking the lightweight shoe. So that's kind of a bummer that I probably won't be able to wear those all the time. But it's good to switch out your shoes anyway. So that's probably what I'll do, is just kind of rotate the shoes that I wear and see what happens. Hopefully that doesn't continue into the new year or stay around. Now, my goals for 2025, I haven't really set specific goals as far as like distances or anything like that. I do have the Princess Half Marathon coming up at the end of February at Disney World. So I'm super excited for that. But after that, I think I will stop focusing on longer distances and do more 5Ks and work on my time with my 5Ks. I think I've just realized that long distance is not something that I love, and I would rather do, you know, medium distances. I'm obviously not a sprinter. The sprint workouts that she's had me do were absolute torture. I felt so exhausted doing those. I would like to still do them here and there, but maybe not to the extent that I was doing them, just because I'm not a sprinter. I don't know how people do it. I would love to be a sprinter. I would love to be like these girls in the Olympics, Gabby Thomas, Sha'Carri Richardson. Like, I would love to do that. And I'm not even close. Like, it is so hard for me to sprint. And so I'm obviously not a sprinter. But I just don't think I'm a long distance girl anymore. I was really liking the half marathons, but they've been a struggle for me the last 2-3 years. Like I said, 2 years ago when I hired my coach the first time, I still didn't really get the time that I wanted. I think I did it in 2:13, 2:15, which is great. But my personal best for a half marathon is like 1:59. And that's ideally where I would want to be, or like 1:50. And I just don't have the capacity to go long distances anymore. Maybe once I start getting into training more, I'll incorporate more longer runs and want to do that again. But for some reason, the last 2 years, 2.5 years, have just been really hard for me to want to go any more than like 5 miles. And 5 miles is kind of pushing it even. So I'm a little nervous for the half marathon in February. I've said several times that, you know, I'm going with my friends. There's tons of photo ops. There's characters, the castle, everything. So we don't go there anticipating getting a spectacular time or anything like that. But I do want to be in shape for it. So I want to be able to comfortably walk, run 13 miles. And right now, I have not been doing long distances. I did 5 miles a few days ago and felt good doing that. But again, that's not even half of a half marathon. So it's just not for me anymore at this point in my life right now. So what I really want to do in 2025 is do the half marathon and then cut back on the longer distances, do a more consistent training schedule where I'm not so off balance to where 1 month I run 6 miles, then the next month I run 42. That is just crazy. I would love to be more of like an average of maybe 30 miles a month, 25, something like that. Yeah, because October I did 34.2 and then November I did almost 30. So I think I could easily do 30 as an average and then incorporate hills and speed workouts and maybe some long runs in there. And like I said before, you know, I do teach group fitness classes. So that is another thing that hinders me from running as much as I would want to and really stops me from wanting to go on those long runs, because right now I'm teaching at 3 classes a week and it's just exhausting after a while. So 3 classes may not seem like a lot to some people, because I know people that teach way more than that. But for me to do that with running, it's just hard sometimes, and I'm tired and my body is sore and I don't want to get out and run. So I have to find that balance with the classes and the running and do a little bit better job of doing both. But I would love to run more 5Ks locally and really try to work on my speed and my time. I said in the last vlog or a couple vlogs ago that I, you know, never really tried during 5Ks. I was always just showing up and doing what I could, but I wasn't really pushing myself. And I think the last 2 runs that I did where I did push myself, or 2 or 3 really, I was thinking, you know, if I went out and really tried in these 5Ks, I could get my time down significantly, I think. So one of my goals is to maybe do a 5K in 25 minutes. So I think I could do that by the end of the year. Granted, I don't get any injuries or anything like that, but that's a fun goal to have. And then, like I said, the half marathon in February, I don't have any kind of time frame on that. I'm not going to set a goal for that as far as time, because there's just no reason to. So I'll do that. I want to start off the year strong with a running schedule because, again, January, 7.5 miles just wasn't enough for me. So I want to start the year off running and end the year running and do a little bit better all the way around. So I'm excited to see what 2025 brings for running. And also I want to say that this channel has really inspired me to run in general, to get my times down, to do more. I watch a lot of different workouts and stuff, and it's just fun and inspiring to see other people and what they're doing and watch videos like this and see what they did, that year and see what their new goals are and everything like that. It's very inspiring. So I encourage you, if you're having trouble with motivation or anything like that, just get on YouTube and watch what other people are doing. Watch different workouts. I found a track channel that I really liked the other day. It's more speed workouts, but I really like to see that. And then I watch Molly Hernandez, who's doing a 100-miler in February. That'll never be me, but I like watching what she's doing in preparation for that. So there's just a whole range of things you can watch on YouTube. So I really encourage you, if you're struggling with motivation or you just don't know where to start, to just get on YouTube and be inspired and encouraged by what other people are doing. So let me know what your goals are for 2025. If you're a runner or if you like to bike or swim or you're a triathlete, whatever, let me know what your goals are and what you're looking forward to. And let me know what your biggest accomplishments were this year, or if maybe you're just going to start in 2025 as a whole new runner. Just let me know in the comments, and thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.